What if I told you that one of these curiosity driving ugly image ads can literally generate 6, 7 figures plus in revenue? Guys, it's crazy. This is called a curiosity image ad. And today I'm going to show you literally how to scale these image ads on Meta from A to Z, creating the images, why they work, what landing pages do you run them to, literally everything you can possibly think of, we're gonna cover in here. Now there's a little bit on YouTube and it's getting more popular, but people have been running these image ad styles for years and years and years. So I thought, why don't I just make a crash course on how to literally do it from scratch to scale, right? Not just the images, but the landing pages they should go to and literally everything else you could possibly imagine. Now, what does a curiosity-driven image ad look like? It's exactly like this, right? You don't really know what you're seeing when you look at it, but it's calling out the avatar and it's driving a bunch of clicks. So let's just start with why curiosity ads scale hard. And before we get into it, guys, when I show you everything, I'm going to show you landing pages that do 7, 8 figures. I'm going to show you how to create the image ads. We are going to go over everything. The amount of value in this video, you will be able to watch this video and you won't need any other information. I'm very confident in that. So why do curiosity ads scale hard? Well, this was the old way of running image ads. And don't get me wrong, this still works. This still prints money, but it's a hard sell approach, meaning you are just trying to sell the product right off the bat. So it's a hard sell. It typically has a low click-through rate because it's very product kind of oriented. So the click-through rate's low, and then the cost per click is typically high because the click-through rate is low because of the hard sell. Now what you can do instead, don't get me wrong, you should have images like this in your ad account, but for top of funnel, super cold audiences, this is a curiosity image ad style. So this is the same exact brand. They have the standard image ad, which is a hard sell approach, and they have this curiosity style image ad. They're selling to the same avatar, which is acne, right? Acne, 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 right? They're calling out their avatar, but they're not hard selling the product. They're also driving curiosity with this red circle and then this gel, which is on her cheek. This is actually their product as well. I can almost guarantee you, I would put so much money on it that this image ad 100% has higher click-through rates and lower cost per clicks. You're targeting the same person, but now you have better creative metrics. If you can literally 2 to 3x your click-through rate and drop your cost per click in half or 2x or 3x, right? Why would you not do this? This can be a massive lever if you already have issue on the creative style. So now you know the benefits of taking the same exact angle and avatar and just going about it creatively in a more organic approach, right? It's a more curiosity driving approach. It's a more native ad style approach. Guys, this is the future. It's not the only way to scale and run ads. That's not what I'm saying, but you should have ads like this in your ad account. Now, before you even print with these ads and do very well with these ads, because a lot of people do try to run it and test it, you have to understand who your customer is to begin with. In order for the ad to even do well, you need to know the angle, you need to know the avatar, and you need to know basically who you're targeting to and why. Now, I have a document for this. And what this document allows me to do is understand my avatar and exactly what they're like. I can also identify angles for particular products before I even start. So you can run your own prompts, right? You can use ChatGPT to do deep research, or you can use Gemini to do deep research on your avatar. And then you'll come up with angles, unique angles and things that your product can help with. Also avatars in which your products can appeal to. Now, I have a doc for this. If you guys want this doc, just drop a comment with your socials. I'll just DM you and send you the doc, but you can also just do this yourself, right? So first, understand your avatar. Now, I'm going to use this as an example for this entire video. Let's just assume I sell collagen peptides. This is a very popular product, right? It's just collagen. And at the end of the day, I know Vital Proteins, and I know a lot of these other companies are selling this product to essentially the same people for the most part. So in order for me to even have a shot at competing, I need to find a unique angle or a golden avatar. I call it a golden avatar. This is an avatar that's typically untapped that you can scale super hard, or a type of person that you can sell to. So I leverage the deep research that AI essentially does for me to find unique angles and avatars. Now, this avatar itself, I also, the step one is doing the research to find them. Once I have them, I'm creating another intensive doc on this avatar themselves, right? So this will be a full PDF on just the avatar. Now, I'm going to give you an example of how I'm going to approach this. Remember, I'm selling collagen peptides. A lot of people sell collagen for like hair health and skin, overall like glow and these types of things. But how am I going to approach it? Well, after doing the deep research, I found an insane angle. This is thin skin on your hand, right? So this is probably an angle that not a lot of people have hit in this niche, and it's a huge pain point. So as people get older, they get thin skin on their hand and they get bruised skin. This is who I'm going to sell collagen peptides to, people that have this specific problem. And they have this problem, but I can even break it up into 3 variations within thin skin, right? You have the black and blue retiree, meaning they're easily bruised. You have the self-conscious hand hider, people who have very expensive jewelry, etc., and the jewelry doesn't present itself as well, the rings and this type of thing, because they're insecure about their skin on their hand and how it's veiny, and I think the word is crepey, right, and thin, right? So this is a big avatar. And then you also have the fragile fighter. This is people that get, because their skin is so thin, they get cuts on their hand. They get these types of things. Their skin is very fragile, and then things can come because of it, right? So each sub-avatar has its own unique landing page, meaning I will create ads for the black and blue retiree, right? The easily bruised. I will create different ads for people that are hand hiders, and I will create even different ads for the fragile fighters, right? So each of these angles gets its own batch of curiosity creatives. This is obviously bruising, right? This is just thin skin just on hands. And then this is fragile fighter, right? So now we've unlocked 3 unique avatars within even a sub avatar, right? This is where the magic happens. So I'm going to send this creative to people that get bruises, right? Meaning like 7 reasons why people are using collagen for their easily bruised skin. Now my headline will be different for people that are hiding their hands. And my headline will be different for people that get cuts, nicks, that type of thing, right? So each of the batches of these creatives gets its own landing page. And that's where the magic happens. It's ultra congruent. Now, as you do more research, you'll find even more pockets. Little did I know, there are all these diagnoses within this certain niche. So it's great to even use some of these, but make sure your total addressable market is as massive as possible. This way you can unlock actually a good bit of scale, opposed to selling to people that have, there's 50 people in the entire world that have this one issue. You want it to be niche, and you want to sell to this specific golden avatar while making sure this specific golden avatar is still a big total addressable market. So now we know we are selling to people that have thin skin on their hands. Now it's time to make our first batch of ads, right? So you guys saw these ads and how I would approach it, right? But how do we make our first batch? Well, there's a lot of tools. I like Reddit because it's very organic. You can see people and really understand the avatar by seeing the images on Reddit. The main tool that I like to use is Higgsfield, right? Higgsfield, you can literally just use the free version and generate images. This is like something that I created on Higgsfield, right? This is maybe if I was running this image ad, I would sell to people that have dirty cars. And what would I sell them? I would sell them a cup holder cleaning kit. I would sell them a wireless car vacuum. This is kind of the approach here, guys. But Higgsfield is amazing. This is an AI generated creative. I also use ChatGPT, etc., to prompt Higgsfield. Now, Higgsfield's great. Gemini Pro is amazing as well. Now, in this case, we're going to just pick one angle, right? We can use all of these tools, but let's just start with thin hand skin. We want each image to have different elements and target different people within thin hand skin. This is how you win, because you don't want to just iterate the same exact image and have just little tiny variations. If you zoom out, you want every image to have the same concept, but be different, right? So here, it's just general thin hand skin. Here, it's for people that realize how thin their skin is on their hand, maybe when they're washing their hands, or looking in the bathroom mirror, or they cut it while they're gardening, or they're driving, or they're touching their grandkid's hand, or they're opening a cabinet, or they're gardening again, or holding their coffee, right? So within just this one thing, we are targeting so many different scenarios and situations and appealing to so many different people. Guys, this is very, very, very powerful. And I hope this opens your eyes up just to how niche you can get into these tiny pockets to really find a winning creative. Now, these are all just Higgsfield. literally generated these in, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, all of them, right? You have to kind of play around with the prompting a little bit to get what you want. But I just leveraged what I knew about my customer avatar to have ChatGPT mock up a bunch of different situations where people realize they're thinning skin on their hands, right? Now I have 15 different situations, which is gardening, opening a drawer, driving your car. And these are ultra relatable for a lot of people. Now we take those prompts and boom, we have 9 different diverse creatives that give me a very high chance of having solid creatives that get amazing metrics in the ad account. So now we have winning ads. But what do we do with these winning ads? Where do we send the traffic? This is the other cool thing that I'm going to get into, because we're not just talking about creating image ads, but literally everything from A to Z, from identifying what you want to make to making it to where you're running the traffic and how to convert it. I'm confident you guys will like this video, right? So now the people that are clicking on these ads, they're aware of the problem, right? They know they have thinning skin on their hands, and they're confirming that they have this problem because they're clicking on the ad, but they're still unaware that we have a solution for them, right? They don't know that we're selling a product. They don't know we have a solution. So the traffic is very, very, very cold. Now, considering the traffic is so cold, we're not going to send this straight to a product page. We have to send this to a bridge page, which is a bridge page is essentially the same thing as a landing page. But this page will have incredible direct response copy and of emotion evicting media, right? This means copy that's really good and connects with the avatar, the text on your advertorial, listicle, landing page, that type of thing. But also the media, the assets, the GIFs, the photos, the videos. They need to evict emotion. They need to be relatable. It needs to be clean. Don't run just AI slop on these landing pages. I mean that with the copy. I mean that with photos, right? Make it feel like a really good landing page. Now, I will say this is a skill that requires repetition. You're not just going to be good at creating landing pages off the bat. Anyone can make these image ads. I will say that. And we'll get into this, but just understand that creating the landing pages is going to be 85% of the skill for you, right? Because this is the hardest thing to do. And I will say, I've been creating landing pages, advertorials, listicles for a long time. It's something I am working at every day and getting better every day, right? You can never be good enough at creating landing pages, but be patient early on. Now, anyone can get good creative metrics, meaning on the Facebook side and your actual ads and creatives, when you're running these curiosity ads, almost everyone's going to get good metrics there, but very few people actually convert the traffic. And in order to convert the traffic, you have to get good at writing copy and creating high converting landing pages that drive conversions. So how do you do that? What do some of these look like? Well, we're going to get into exactly what they look like, show you 7, 8-figure landing pages, how to replicate them, and why they work. So now you have your native image ads or your curiosity image ads. Where do you send the traffic? What should the URLs on your website look like and the landing pages to send the traffic? Well, the first thing that you can test is a listicle, right? A listicle is essentially an informational landing page structured as a list, usually with bullet points, numbers, that type of thing. 5, 7, 10 reasons why, or 5, 7, 10 ways people solve XXX. Now, let me just show you an incredibly good landing page. Javi Coffee, what is this? A 9-figure brand now. And you can see reason 1, reason 2, all the way through 10. Now, this is a bridge page because they're not just selling you right off the bat. They're educating you, they're warming up the traffic, and then here you click on this and they take you to their sales page. Now, that's a really good listicle. What's another good listicle? Well, this is another good listicle. This is a 5 reasons why. 5 reasons why thousands of women are switching to this hair care system. Reason 1, reason 2, call to action, reason 3, reason 4, reason 5. So in this, on these pages, you're essentially bridging the traffic, warming up that cold traffic to be able to actually convert. You need these pages when you run native image ads. Now, that is a listicle, right? You also have an advertorial. These can work very, very well. It feels more like a promotional article and it's disguised as an editorial. It's typically much more copy and direct response oriented, meaning less photos, more copy, more heavy on the pain points, that type of thing. I would probably test advertorials first and listicles second. These are the first 2 places you want to send traffic. Now, what do good advertorials look like? Well, let's just go straight into it. Now, this is literally an advertorial that I found for this particular problem, which is like this crepey skin, right? So you can see it feels more like a blog and an article. It's more copy oriented, pain point oriented, and then they're sending this to then a VSL, which is a video, but typically advertorials would just go down longer and longer and longer and then have a call to action at the bottom. This is an advertorial. This is an advertorial as well. Let me just put this in English, and you can see the photos are in German, right? But this type of format converts incredibly well. I will tell you, if you run something like this with native and curiosity driven image ads, you have a very good chance, right? Now, to be honest, you do have to write really good copy. You have to have evocation, evicting media, and you have to have media. What this landing page is doing such a good job of is giving people and selling an outcome. The best marketers, they don't sell products, they sell outcomes. What are they doing in every single one of these pictures? They're selling outcomes that you both want and don't want, right? They tell you, hey, you are this, you want to be this, right? They're selling an outcome, and this is a very, very good advertorial. So now you know what an advertorial looks like. I would test advertorials and listicles more than anything. I'm also going to get into how you create them, right? You can also test a quiz funnel. I've got a quiz funnel right here where you're essentially kind of vetting your avatar, and this is a very, very good way to convert cold traffic. Quiz funnel, here's another quiz funnel, Warby Parker. This is what a 9-figure brand as well. Guys, quiz funnels work. It's not as popular to run essentially native or like curiosity image ads here, but they can certainly work. You can certainly test them. That's another example. And then you also have an educational offer / sales page. So it's an offer and sales page, but it also educates a good bit. Now, what do these look like? Well, this is one where we're getting into kind of like what you would see in a description and calling out that avatar and that we have the solution. But then you're also kind of pushing offer a lot, right? Here you see like 70% off. Here you see 70% off. Offers pretty heavy in the hero section. This is another kind of sales page that's also educational and can convert cold traffic. Probably not as well as an advertorial or listicle. Here's another example. You can see description, and it's really educating on the product, right? And then you have offer at the bottom, and you have kind of offer up top, but you're still calling out your avatar as well. So these pages can do very, very well. Typically, they do better when you run an advertorial to then a page like this, to then PDP or checkout, right? So it's kind of like a second page typically in the funnel, but you can test it on cold traffic. Now, how do you build these pages? Well, simple, guys. Gem pages, PageFly, and Replo. Replo is, I think, 130 USD per month. I use Replo, Gem pages, and PageFly. I personally work with people one-on-one that use Gem pages. It's a cheaper option. I think it's 40 a month. And these guys are still hitting insane numbers like 10K days plus with Gem pages, advertorials, listicles, that type of thing. They all work. So all of these are amazing options for a quiz funnel. You want to use Hayflow. It can get very expensive. A quiz funnel wouldn't be the first thing that I would test. So now you know how to create the ads. You have intent behind why you're creating them and who you're targeting. You know exactly what your landing page should look like. Now, when you're writing copy for these landing pages, you just leverage the customer avatar, the research that you previously had to easily write the copy. And then basically getting good media is the last thing you have to do. And that's really it. Now you start running traffic here. And I want to simplify it because from here, you just fix the bottlenecks and you scale. You might not even have bottlenecks, but I want to break it up into just two parts. You have pre-click, which is your ad, your curiosity ad, and you have post-click. Post-click is what happens after they click on the ad to go to your website. This is a revolving 360, right? Yin and yang. Just simplify it to these two things. If you have a pre-click problem, test more of these curiosity ads. If you have a post-click problem and it's not converting once people get to your website, this is probably what I would imagine most people will struggle with, then work on that. It's that simple, right? So if you have a high CTR and a low cost per click, creative is not your issue. I can almost guarantee most people will not deal with that because these image ads do well. They're easy to make. You don't have to be great at it, right? So if you're good here, just look at post-click. It sounds simple, but if your conversion rate is low and people are hitting your website and not buying, your funnel sucks. It's that easy. It's that simple. So this could be because of many things. This could be your advertorial, your listicle, your bridge page, right? It could be the angle or avatar that you're actually targeting. So just test the same process with a new avatar, new creatives for that avatar, new advertorial for that avatar. It could be your offer and it could be your product page, or most likely all of these things, right? So there are so many ways to improve here, and you should be typically always improving here, no matter what numbers you're doing. But if you can't scale with these ads, your funnel just simply isn't hitting. So that is literally everything from A to Z. This is all you need to know. This is all you need to implement. Now, obviously, there are about 100 different little intricacies within this thing, and I help people with that. I run these types of funnels and creative system with a lot of people one-on-one. I wouldn't say a lot, just a few people every single month. So if you want to work with me personally to implement this type of thing, whether you're a beginner, you already have something with proof of concept, it doesn't matter. Just click the first type form. If you're not interested in that, hopefully you guys like the video. Drop a comment. If you want the prompt for the research, let me know. Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe. More videos like this. What do you want in the future? I don't know. Let me know. But that is it for today. And thank you guys for watching. Let's crush. Let me know how this works for you, and have an amazing rest of your day.